Next, the neighbors nobody wants. This summer, unfortunately, has been perfect not just for humans, but for some of the four-legged people who've moved in. They're not people, really, are they? They're rats. Well, you need to know about them next. You won't find too many people with anything good to say about rats. They're synonymous with dirt and disease and damage, and of course, everybody knows they're mean. Many people are afraid of them, other people just don't like them, but almost no one wants to see them. And lately, it seems a lot of people are seeing them around, even in the daytime when they're supposed to be sleeping. So here to talk about our uneasy relationship with our unwanted neighbors, the rats. Andrew Hebda, curator of zoology at the Nova Scotia Museum of Natural History, and Andrew Wheelock, owner of Truly Nolan Pest Control and Skedaddle Humane Wildlife Control. Andrews both, good to have you here.
Thanks, Steve.
Pleasure. Let's start with the zoological piece here, Andrew. Most people would prefer that we don't see rats and that we don't even think about them, but we are seeing more of them, it seems, this year and the last couple of years. Why is that?
In part, it's the climate, but really, if you think about it, what we have in the spring and in the summer reflects what we had in the fall. And we had that gorgeous winter the winter before. Although we had a lot of snow, there was no ground frost, so there wasn't pressure. And then last fall was gorgeous, so we had a really good crop of rats, which then reproduced in the spring. And
does your work in the rat control business bear out the notion that there are more of them around?
Absolutely. The calls are coming in fast and furious. You know, it's certainly a big increase from last year.
How dramatic an increase is it?
Well, I don't know if I can quantify it, but you know, certainly the phone rings, people are talking about rats, and they see them in their yards, there's burrows in their gardens, and we're dealing with it every day.
Andrew Hebda, what kind of rats do we have around here?
At the moment, Norway rats, some people call them brown rats. We occasionally, every 3-4 decades, will have some black rats. That'll be the famous plague rats, but at the moment, they're not here.
Now, we do have some specimens here on the table, and folks, if you don't like rats, you're not going to want to look at this. But this fella here is the big Norway rat. Is that a wharf rat? What we'd call a wharf rat? Somebody from Port City?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a little mouse on the other end. That guy in the middle is what?
A juvenile.
A juvenile.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you know we're talking about. Why do rats like our urban neighborhoods, and particularly our port cities, so much?
Well, specifically, rats are, you know, they're looking for food. So there's, you know, food, restaurants, in alleyways. They're looking for harborage or shelter because they're prey species, and water. So they're looking for entry into homes and shelter, safety, food.
Since we know they're around, Andrew Wheelock, what should people do just routinely to prevent the rats from getting into the places where they don't want them?
Typically, you want to reduce clutter around your house. You don't want areas where they can hide outside and make their way in, chew their way into your house. And they can chew through things, you know, new wood. They can chew their way in.
Can they really chew through those green bins? I mean, we've heard reports of green bins being chawed up by rats. They do that?
Yeah, they get onto the vent at the bottom and find an edge and start chewing through.
And if you have a rat infestation in your house, what's the best way to get rid of them?
Well, prevention's the best way. So you want to seal up the outside. You may have to do a trapping regime on the inside to get them out, and then keep them out by making sure there's no new entry hole for them to come in.
You specialize in humane pest control. Is there a humane way to deal with a rat problem in your
Absolutely, and that's the secret sauce. I don't know if I can tell you that on TV, but we can rodent-proof your house without the use of traps and poison.
But do we routinely trap and release rats?
Well, we would let them out. I don't know, we wouldn't trap and release, but let them out of the house.
Andrew Hebda, most people don't like rats. I said in the introduction, people don't really have any sympathy for rats, maybe a little bit more for mice. Why do we despise them so much? And is there a reason for us to really actively hate them, as many people do?
Well, we have several problems. Number one is we, of course, associate them with the disease because, of course, not only will they crawl through our food, but they'll crawl through waste or other material before they get to our food, so they can spoil or contaminate food. But I think deep down inside, the problem is they're too much like us, not because of the hairiness and that kind of stuff, but rather they're omnivores. They like structures, they're very gregarious, and they like to hang around with us. And it's that Star Trek thing. We don't like to share our space-time continuum, and I think that's really gets down to the heart of it.
We've now had special sauce and Star Trek in the same interview. That's pretty good. Are they really dirty and disease-ridden, which is the big rap? You know, they carry diseases that cause the plague. True or false? Well,
their feces can carry disease, hantavirus. So, yeah, you definitely want to be careful when you're dealing with excrement from critters.
Okay, there are a fair number of popular beliefs, maybe myths about rats, and I'd like to put the lie to these or confirm them while I have two rat experts here. One, rats can climb walls. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
A rat can climb a wall.
Absolutely.
Big time. The black rats even more so because they call them roof rats, so you tend to find them on second and third floors. But that's a nice grip. Just listen for the little scrabbling sound. You
Not
can't
sure
miss
I
it.
really wanted to know that. Rats will attack people without provocation. True or false?
Don't know that one.
I wouldn't think so. There's got to be a reason, because if you're going to attack something, it may attack you back, and it's going to cost you. So I would think probably that's false.
But don't corner a rat. That's an old wives' tale or a fact. Don't corner a rat.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you have to get the rat, you're going to have to get it. But yeah, I haven't had them attack me.
Can they lunge 4 or 5 feet, as some people claim?
Oh, great jumpers. Yeah.
Great jumpers.
Quick.
So you're giving me a true on that one.
Yeah,
Rats will eat anything. True or false?
pretty much.
Pretty well. Yeah. They're omnivores. So the problem they have is their teeth are designed as a rodent. You figure their preference would be for grain, but they'll go for pretty well any material.
Teeth grow all the time, never stop.
That's a problem, because then they have to keep gnawing them down. Like I say, gnawing on.
Finally, there's never just one rat. If you got one rat in your house,
You can have one rat in your house.
you can't have just one.
You absolutely can, yeah. Mice, a little different. Rats, you can have
So if you've got one, you might have only one.
maybe.
That would be the good news.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's good of you to come in. It's a subject we don't like to talk about, but a lot of people are talking about it. It's good to get some expert information from Andrew Wheelock and Andrew Hebda here. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Take a break, rather. Back with more in just a moment.